I do. My kids are on the way and they're gonna
okay.
We're gonna do it 2 different ways. One is kind of an easier way. The other one is where you actually shake them in. We're going to be installing bees in that top bar hive today, which I have never done before. I built that 5-6 years ago and I've never put bees in it for some reason. So starting off, the things you need, you can see I got a spray bottle here full of 1-to-1 sugar syrup, just 1 part sugar, 1 part water, and shake it up till it's all dissolved. What I'll actually use I won't have to do it so much with these, and I'm not going to put a whole lot on them today because it is a little bit chilly. So what we're going to do on this one, I can go ahead and pop this off. All your bee packages, this is about 3 pounds of bees, 9,000 to 10,000 bees. And inside here, in the middle of that clump of bees, there's going to be a queen and a feeding can. So what I'm going to do, get this off here first. First thing you do is just pry that off. So you have to have a hive tool or something to be able to pry with. And don't get rid of that because you're going to need it. You guys come closer and take a look before I open them.
Now, what kind of bees are they?
These are Italian Carniolan hybrids. If you can see the little pink thing right here, that's the queen cage. So the queen cage is hanging, that's cut through that slot. She hangs down in the middle of those bees. The bees are keeping her warm and attending to her right now. This is just a feed can full of sugar syrup. When I pull it out, you'll see it better, but it's just sugar syrup and it's got holes punched in the bottom of it, and that's what they feed off of. These literally just arrived from Georgia, like probably 2 hours ago. So they may be a little feisty, but what I'm going to do first is pull the feed can out. Once I get that out, that's why you don't get rid of this, cover that back up so the bees can't get out. Then I'll slowly work the queen cage out because you got to push it down that slot, take it over and pull it out. But before I do that, I'm going to give them just a slight mist because it's a little chilly this morning of the sugar water. So the sugar water is going to get on the bees and it kind of makes them stick together and they don't want to fly, and they'll actually start eating it and give them other things to do besides stinging me, hopefully. So when you do this, you just kind of, it works, wouldn't be good. You spray it at work, yeah.
Probably turn it on.
There we go. So I'm just going to mist them a little bit through the screen. Then take the box and just wrap it and all the bees will fall to the bottom. Hose them down again. I'd usually put a little bit more than that on them, but like I said, it's chilly out this morning, so I'm not going to do too much. Alright, so what you don't want to do when you take the queen cage out is drop her down in there. You can, if you come up here and take a look, you can see the queen hanging there. She's alive, she's moving. That's something you want to check when you pick up your packages of bees. The queen cage is hanging right there and you can see the queen moving around. Alright, so what I'm going to do is take the feed can out and replace it with this. And there'll usually always bees hanging off the bottom of it. That's all I'm doing. Sliding that right off. So you can see there's just a couple holes punched in the bottom of that. Now what I do with these is save it, because when I fill up the feeders you can dump what's left from here into there. But you got to punch a hole in it. So we'll come back to that. So the next step is get the queen cage out. Now I would love to take the queen around and show everybody where it's a little bit chilly. We don't want to chill the queen. So as soon as I take her out, I'm going to put her in my pocket. Not as soon, but pretty soon. So I'm going to wrap them down to the bottom again. So if you do happen to drop the queen down into there, you have to stick your hand down in there and get her back out. So that's why I'm saying be careful when you pull it out that you don't drop her down in. Will usually be a few bees sticking to her, but you can see the queen in there. Now all the queen cages, this is a plastic JZBZ queen cage. They got a cover on them that you have to take off before you put the queen in. That's got a candy plug in it that the bees will eat through to release the queen.
Let me see how big she's not.
You'll notice when you get new queens like this, she'll be, you'll think, wow, she's kind of small. Give her about 2 weeks and she starts laying eggs and she'll be pretty big. She'll probably double in size. So on these type cages, they got little, on the plug, they got little handles on them. Flip the queen cage over and put it down in there. Keep it warm. Alright, so now you got a handle on there. So I'm going to take out one of the frames. Oh crap, I forgot my staple gun. I'm going to grab my staple gun out of my truck.